This is your Barbados Today Morning News Update for Tuesday, August 6, 2019. Thanks for joining us. I'm Carol Williams. We begin with news that designer Kevin Small has walked away with some of the top Grand Kadooment awards, including the coveted Best Festival Designer. His Fifth Element mask, the Golden Coast, also won in the categories of Historical, Traditional, Most Colorful Small Band, Best Individual Male, Best Individual Female, Flag Person of the Year, and Presentation of the Year. Veteran Betty West Kadooment Band was named the Republic Bank Large Band of the Year. His portrayal of festival time also earned the titles of the George Deere Award, Best Band on the Road, the BMA Brands of Barbados Award Large Band category, and the Vision 2020 Award. Gwyneth Squire's Kadooment Band was named the Republic Bank Small Band of the Year. It also earned the BMA Brands of Barbados Award Small Band category and the Topical category. Our Experience was named the Most Colorful Large Band and also won the Fantasy category, while Crave the Band was named the Best Party Band. Meantime, crop over organizers have been lauded for a job well done over the final day of the jump up, but there was one complaint: the length of time it took the bands to reach their final destination on the mighty Grinder Highway. Marlon Madden was there and spoke to revelers and spectators.
While everyone who spoke to Barbados Today lauded organizers for the efforts they put in the preparations of the festival on the final day, one complaint was common: the length of time it took the bands to reach their final destination, the mighty Grinder Highway. Minister of International Business Ronald Topping told the Barbados Today he enjoyed the festival. He said he was especially pleased with the amount and the kind of security he was seeing, a sentiment expressed by many. However, like others, Topping said he was disappointed in the pace at which the bands were getting on the highway.
I am disappointed in the pace at which the bands are getting down here to the highway. Normally at this time you see quite a few more bands than you see in this year, but I don't know what the hitches are.
When the bands started about 8:30 a.m. in front of the judges at the Botanical Gardens, around 6:30 p.m. only 7 bands had arrived on the mighty Grinder Highway. However, after partying or parading along the highway, revelers entered the Kensington Oval for the newly introduced Rewind After Party, which has been put on by the National Cultural Foundation, or NCF, in association with Twisted Entertainment.
And no major incidents were reported to the police on Grand Kadooment Day. In delivering the report, Police PRO Acting Inspector Rodney Innes was high in praise for the work of law enforcement.
We are happy to report Kadooment 2019 has been incident-free. Well, major incidents, I can say. There have been at least 3 or 4 minor incidents, one involving a female at the popular area of Hot Pot. She got into some difficulties, but that was taken care of. Another incident where another female unfortunately received a fractured foot. And then within a band, which I wouldn't name, we had an issue where you had someone receiving some scarring, some bruising. And all those incidents were well taken care of, nothing major to report. Along the road, you will have persons who were drinking and enjoying themselves. Nobody got out of hand as far as reported by our police officers on the ground. As usual, I would want to give kudos to all the forces, the Royal Barbados Police Force, the Barbados Defence Force, all the security personnel, the private security, the emergency services, ambulance service, all of us who came together to make this Kadooment Day a successful one, an incident-free one, and certainly that would come from the Commissioner and his senior command of the Royal Barbados Police Force.
Meantime, another Barbadian was holding celebrations of her own yesterday. Eunice Phillips of the Glebe St. George marked her 100th birthday. The Centenarian was delighted to receive a visit from Governor General Dame Sandra Mason. The former teacher and employee at the British Tobacco Company had lots to tell Dame Sandra and the relatives and friends who gathered to spend the special day with her.
When I was young, I liked to go to dances. The first dance I used to dance was when I was 4 years. I had a man from St. Philip come and marry to a neighbor of mine. And they would say, come over and play. I'm going to put me in the center. There's a brown girl in the thing, and I dance. So I used to dance from then till now.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Barbados Today, news you can trust.
Over now to St. Lucia, where the Civil Service Association is expressing frustration with the slow pace of resolving two outstanding matters with the management of the electricity company Lucelec. More from HGS News Force.
The Civil Service Association's frustration with what it deems foot-dragging on the part of the management of Lucelec is approaching breaking point. The CSA's General Secretary Claude Paul says some of the outstanding matters have gone on for years and have had to be brought before third parties for resolution. There are two unresolved issues between the Civil Service Association and the management of Lucelec.
The first one being the retirement age, which is before the appeal court.
Another sticking point between the CSA and Lucelec is the grade structure for the workers of the electricity company. This has been before the Labour Tribunal for more than 2 years now. The CSA says time is running out for a resolution.
And the second one, it is the grade structure, which was left out of the agreement since 2013. And that matter has gone to the Labour Tribunal. And it's almost a year since we have deliberated that twice before the Labour Tribunal. In August last year, 2018, and again in March 2019.
And on the international scene, police yesterday fired tear gas at protesters in multiple parts of Hong Kong after a general strike hit transportation sector. The city's Beijing-backed leader warned its prosperity was at risk. More from Reuters TV.
Hong Kong came to an unprecedented standstill Monday morning. Protests and strikes choked transport across the financial hub, while its only airport cancelled more than 200 flights. It's the latest anti-government campaign by protesters who are seeking to shut the city down. Demonstrators occupied several areas across Hong Kong in simultaneous protests.
The great majority of Hong Kong people are now in a state of great anxiety.
Embattled leader Carrie Lam addressed the media for the first time in 2 weeks Monday, once again rejecting calls to step down, and warned the protests are putting Hong Kong on a path of no return. This was the scene overnight in a bustling shopping district on the main island. Police arrested scores of people as demonstrators moved swiftly across the city late Sunday, staging flash protests. That brings the total number of arrests to more than 400 since June 9th, according to police on Monday.
And that's news, but for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook. And sign up for breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We're also on Izumi Media in bus terminals, as well as screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. You can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM and Capital Media HD 99.3 FM. I'm Carol Williams. Have a good day.